Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly build deep, meaningful connections while others struggle, even when they're doing all the right things? The answer often has nothing to do with looks, status, or even communication skills in the traditional sense. It comes down to something far more powerful, something that quietly shapes every interaction you have: emotional intelligence. Today, we're diving into why emotional intelligence is the ultimate biohack for better intimacy and connection. And when I say biohack, I don't mean supplements or gadgets. I mean something that directly rewires how your brain, your body, and your relationships function. Something that changes the way you experience closeness, attraction, and trust at the deepest level. Let's start with a simple idea. Intimacy is not just physical, it's emotional safety. It's the feeling that you can be seen, understood, and accepted without judgment. And that feeling doesn't come from what you say, it comes from how you show up. Emotional intelligence, often referred to as EQ, is your ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions while also being able to recognize and respond to the emotions of others. It sounds simple, but in reality, it's one of the most complex and powerful skills you can develop. Think about the last time you had a meaningful conversation with someone. Maybe it was a partner, a friend, or even someone you just met. What made that moment feel real? Chances are, it wasn't the words themselves. It was the presence, the attention, the feeling that the other person was truly tuned into you. That's emotional intelligence in action. Now here's where it gets interesting. Your brain is wired for connection. When you feel emotionally understood, your brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. This is the same chemical involved in trust, attachment, and even physical intimacy. On the flip side, when you feel misunderstood, judged, or dismissed, your brain activates stress responses. Cortisol rises, your body becomes defensive, and connection breaks down. So when we talk about emotional intelligence as a biohack, what we're really saying is this. By improving your emotional awareness and regulation, you are directly influencing your brain chemistry and your relationship outcomes. Let's break this down into practical components. The first pillar is self-awareness. This means being able to recognize what you're feeling in real time. Not 5 minutes later, not after an argument, but in the moment. Most people don't actually know what they're feeling. They might say they're angry, but underneath that anger is often hurt, insecurity, or fear. When you become aware of your emotions, you gain control over them. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can respond intentionally. And that alone changes everything in your relationships. The second pillar is emotional regulation. This is your ability to manage your emotional responses, especially in stressful or triggering situations. Let's say your partner says something that upsets you. Without emotional regulation, you might snap back, shut down, or escalate the situation. But with regulation, you can pause, breathe, and choose a response that aligns with the kind of connection you actually want. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. It means understanding them well enough that they don't control you. The third pillar is empathy. This is where connection truly deepens. Empathy is the ability to step into someone else's emotional experience without losing yourself. It's not about fixing their problems or offering solutions. It's about making them feel seen and heard. When someone feels understood, their guard drops. And when the guard drops, intimacy grows. Now let's talk about something most people overlook: emotional safety. You can have chemistry, attraction, and even great communication. But without emotional safety, the relationship will always feel unstable. Emotional safety is created through consistency. It's built when your partner knows that they can express themselves without fear of being judged, criticized, or dismissed. And emotional intelligence is what allows you to create that environment. Here's a powerful shift in perspective. Instead of asking, "How can I be more attractive?" start asking, "How can I make the other person feel safe and understood?" That's the real game changer. Now, let's connect this to intimacy on a deeper level. Physical intimacy is not separate from emotional intimacy. It's an extension of it. When there is emotional disconnect, it often shows up physically. Desire decreases, communication breaks down, and both partners may feel distant. But when emotional intelligence is high, something incredible happens. You become more attuned to your partner's needs, their cues, their comfort levels. You're able to navigate boundaries with respect and awareness. And this creates a level of trust that enhances every aspect of intimacy. Another key aspect is vulnerability. Emotional intelligence allows you to be vulnerable without feeling weak. It gives you the confidence to express your thoughts and feelings honestly, while also being open to receiving your partner's emotions. Vulnerability is often misunderstood. People think it means oversharing or being overly emotional, but true vulnerability is about authenticity. It's about showing up as you are, without pretending or hiding behind defenses. And here's the truth. Vulnerability is attractive, not in a superficial way, but in a deeply human way. It signals trust, openness, and emotional maturity. Let's talk about common mistakes people make when it comes to emotional intelligence. One of the biggest is trying to win arguments instead of understanding the other person. When your goal is to win, you lose connection. But when your goal is to understand, you create space for resolution. Another mistake is avoiding difficult conversations. Many people think that avoiding conflict will keep the relationship stable. In reality, it does the opposite. Unspoken emotions build up over time and eventually create distance. Emotional intelligence teaches you how to navigate conflict in a healthy way. It allows you to express concerns without attacking and to listen without becoming defensive. Now let's get practical. How do you actually develop emotional intelligence? Start with awareness. Take a few moments each day to check in with yourself. Ask, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? What triggered this emotion? Next, practice active listening. When someone is speaking to you, focus fully on them. Don't interrupt. Don't plan your response while they're talking. Just listen. Reflect back what you heard. This alone can dramatically improve your connections. Another powerful tool is pausing before reacting. When you feel triggered, give yourself a moment. Take a breath. This creates space between the emotion and the response. Also, work on naming emotions accurately. Instead of saying, I'm upset, try to be more specific. Are you frustrated, disappointed, hurt? The more precise you are, the better you can understand and communicate your experience. Let's also talk about body language. Emotional intelligence is not just verbal, it's physical. Eye contact, tone of voice, facial expressions, and posture all communicate how you feel. Being aware of these signals can help you align your words with your emotions. Now, here's something important. Emotional intelligence is not about being perfect. You will still make mistakes. You will still have moments where you react instead of respond. The goal is not perfection, it's progress. Every time you choose awareness over reaction, empathy over judgment, and connection over control, you are strengthening your emotional intelligence. And over time, this creates a ripple effect. Your relationships become more stable, more fulfilling, and more meaningful. You experience deeper intimacy, stronger trust, and a greater sense of connection. Let's zoom out for a moment. In a world that often prioritizes external success, money, status, appearance, emotional intelligence is often overlooked. But when it comes to relationships, it is the foundation. You can have everything else, but without emotional intelligence, connection will always feel incomplete. So if you're looking for the ultimate biohack, not just for intimacy, but for life, this is it. Develop your emotional intelligence. Learn to understand yourself. Learn to understand others. And watch how your relationships transform. Because at the end of the day, the quality of your life is deeply connected to the quality of your relationships. And the quality of your relationships is shaped by how well you understand and navigate emotions. So start today. Pay attention. Stay curious. Be present. And most importantly, remember this. Connection is not something you find. It's something you create. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.